After a 1-week hiatus, the Women's World Tour returned with the Amstel Gold Race, which was making a return of its own. After 14 years away, it rejoins the women's calendar and, for the first time ever, marks the first of a trio of quick and punchy Ardennes classics. The race is also a point of Dutch pride, to no one more so than Roxanne Knetemann, daughter of men's race winner Jerry.
Because my father wins it twice, it's for sure one of the special races of the season for me. But I think for whole women's cycling, it's really cool. Amstel Gold Race finally is for women's too. It's a nice course, Dutch public, it's awesome, so I'm really looking forward, yes.
Yeah, it's funny to think 14 years ago is when I actually just started riding. So it's been a long time since this race has gone on, and yeah, we live not too far away, so we know the roads pretty well. It's some of my favorite training roads and kind of reminds me of home as well, as far as the kind of climbs that we have here. So yeah, it's well suited to me, what I've trained at home and our training here in Sittard, so I think it'll be a good match for today.
When they said like we would organize it, it was already like in my agenda with a red circle around it, like Amstel Gold Race. That's the day together with Flanders that I want to be in my best shape. And yeah, so I was thinking already really long about this race to be in a top shape, and yeah, today's the day.
The race set off from Maastricht in far bitterer conditions than the riders have been used to during the unusually balmy classic season so far. But the welcome was certainly warm, with crowds packed along the pavement to see them off on their 121-kilometre course. It is the shortest race so far in the Women's World Tour calendar, and the riders took that as a chance to keep the pace high. Silence Pro Cycling's Willeke Knoll managed a brief escape, but would be caught once the peloton reached the first of 17 climbs of the day. Megan Guarnier, who has been sidelined from racing since a crash in February, evidently enjoyed being back at the fore. The peloton sped towards the hilly local circuit, but it wasn't the formidable ascents that whittled down the numbers. Rather, it was the fearsome winds on the low, flat, exposed farmlands, with any escapees swallowed up by the front group by the penultimate visit to the Kouwberg. Kasia Niewiadoma gritted her teeth and flew off the front. Lizzie Dinan stuck solidly to her wheel, followed by Elisa Longo-Borghini, who won a World Championship bronze on this very hill back in 2012. It was the former Women's World Tour leader that led the escapees up the steepest point of the Kouwberg. 10 of some of the best cyclists in the world chased, with 4 more further behind them, and the rest left stranded. Aided by the efforts of Annemiek van Vleuten and Ashley Moolman-Pasio, both without teammates around them, the chasers kept the break in sight. Janneke Ensing turned up the speed and charged under the gantry. Rivera bounded out the pack too. Further back, another chase effort, this time by teammates desperate to help lone leaders in front. Among them, Canyon SRAM for former world champion Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. The front trio knew how to form a winning break together, having taken all the podium places at Strade Bianche this year by doing exactly that, but perhaps weren't so forthcoming in taking turns this time. 11 seconds behind, Tatiana Ryabchenko rallied the chasers at the foot of the Gehemmerweg, a climb with an average gradient of 5.8. Once they reached the top, the 3 at the front had almost doubled the advantage they had at the bottom, and they stood to gain far more as the tactical game set in behind. The chasers began to look at each other more than they looked at the target ahead. Ellen van Dijk fired them up once more though, as much a specialist at closing down breaks as making them herself. And the advantage tumbled. With less than 11 kilometres left, they were only 14 seconds behind. Van Dijk pushed on, Women's World Tour leader Rivera bookending the group for Team Sunweb. The gap remained steady until the Bemmelberg, Van Vleuten making an explosive attack here. Olympic champion Anna van der Breggen calmly took her wheel. Rivera completed the 3. And 2 3s quickly made a 6. Another surge from Van Vleuten, but no one to shake off this time. The group behind faltered again. 1 check, 2 check, 3 checks from Dynan at the front, and that was enough to false foot the rest. Dynan's teammate Van der Breggen steaming on past on the other side of the road. Down into aero position, just more than 5 kilometres to the finish, but there was still the final run up the Kouwberg to contend with. Number 1 on her back and number 1 on the road. Van der Breggen turned onto the Kouwberg with almost half a minute on the others. Never daring to look up at the hordes of home crowds, she kicked on to the finish. Rivera couldn't hold on as the rest headed on in desperate pursuit. It seemed the only rider not losing rhythm was the one at the front. Van der Breggen carried the pace on the long straight, and the local crowds had plenty to celebrate. A Dutch winner on a Dutch team, winning a Dutch race. Dynan jumped out to make it a Team 1-2. And between Niewiadoma and Van Vleuten, it was too close to call, earning them a joint 3rd place.
Well, of course, when you bridge, it's not much time to talk with Lizzie, but Lizzie looked at me and I saw her and she saw I was attacking, so that was perfect. I think that makes the race nice, that you have an instinct that you want to go, you grab the moment, and we try to race like that, make it an exciting race, and luckily today it worked out.
We've both struggled, I think, with sickness as well this season, so it's nice that, we both got it right today. We both had good legs, and when we both have good legs, then we're a good combination. And obviously, it's a really important race for our team and for Anna, so I'm really happy.
In the sprint, I thought that I was already there. I saw the white line on the floor, but there was not a line. There was also another line, so I did not sprint on the finish line. So I went seeding. I thought I'm 3rd, and then I saw Kasia and Niewiadoma coming up, and then I felt, I'm not there, and started to sprint again. So yeah, it was 10-20 meters before the finish. I made a big mistake.
Corinne Rivera retains the Women's World Tour leaders jersey, while Cecily Uttrup Ludwig remains atop the youth standings. And here's the rest of the top 10. Amy Peters making it 3 Boels-Dolmans riders in the first 7 finishers. In the Women's World Tour leaders rankings, Van Vleuten jumps up to 2nd, while Van der Breggen's win sees her move into the top 10. And in the youth standings, Cervelo Bigler's Lisa Klein jumps to 5th with her first points of the season.